Okay, so what we're gonna cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, you know Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like our...
Alrighty, y'all. So, for those who haven't noticed, Kamala Harris, she has come under fire for not answering questions. When reporters or journalists are asking her questions, say for example, they ask her, "Hey Kamala Harris, which do you prefer, the apple or the carrot?" Kamala Harris's, for example, her typical response would be, I'm going to do it again. Kamala Harris, what do you prefer, the apple or the carrot? Now this is what Kamala would say. Well, let me tell you what. You know, back in my day, when I was living in my middle-class neighborhood, many folks would go to the grocery store, and, you know, that's the real question. We'd go to the grocery store, sometimes we shop at the mall, and sometimes we'd buy turnips, and, you know, I used to wash my collard greens in the bathtub, you see? And it's all about small business, y'all. So let's not get distracted with a lot of the things, you see? So the real question here, like I said, is this is just an example of how Kamala Harris answers simple questions. Like, you know, it's a tactic that a lot of manipulators use to make you forget about the question you asked. But when she had this 60-minute interview, I forget the journalist, the person asking the question. I forget what his name is. I'm gonna put it on here eventually before I post this. But you know, when she was being interviewed by him, this is the first time I've seen her actually be called out on not answering questions directly, and on also on a lot of the things that she lies about, blatantly. But anyways, I digress. The whole purpose was the reason why I'm bringing this up is 60 minutes after Kamala Harris faced so much backlash from that new interview on 60 Minutes, after she received such heavy backlash, 60 Minutes has now they've edited the interview and they shortened her responses to make it seem as if they're more concise and clear. However, in a turn of events, for those who are actually able to just if you pay attention, you could see that even when even though they shortened the answers and responses, the answers and responses that they put in place of the original ones, they're not even on subject, and they're not concise as they seem. So it just reminds me a lot of the whole Jaguar Wright Pierce Morgan thing. Jaguar Wright, she gets on there and she calls out Jay-Z and Beyonce for a lot of things that a lot of folks have accused them of doing, but now they're going back and they're editing the interview. By golly gee, what happened to freedom of the press?
60 Minutes has been blasted after eagle-eyed viewers exposed the program for editing out Kamala Harris's word salad reply to a question about the war in the Middle East. The journalist asked why it seemed like Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu wasn't listening to the United States when it came to the war, and Kamala Harris offered up this lengthy word salad of an answer.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We are not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.